I think you already know that. We're all stuck in quarantine because of COVID. For some reason, like, you get demonetized if you say COVID in the video, but because I don't make money with my videos, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say thing that should not be named. I hope those people that have to censor themselves they feel as dead inside as I would if I had to do the same thing. But because of that, because every new book I've been getting, I've gotten digitally, and to just show it on the iPad, which I'm using to record, like, I'll do this, like, oh, look at this book I got, it's digital. It's not the same as, like, it's not the same as this. No, I didn't show you the book I'm going to show you. It's not the same as this, I feel the book. I feel the pages turning. I feel the smell of the book. Older books, that's really cool. It makes me good sometimes to smell to the comic book store. I think more of you need to admit that you do that, because I do it. And then you get, like, a digital code, too. So if you just want a digital book, you can put it in your little, your Mylar bag, because this is totally worth a lot of money. Totally. Star Wars #1, the original Star Wars #1, not the 70th #1 they've had, because Star Wars is a huge. Isn't a huge. So just gonna get onto it, because I like to ramble. You guys know that because I don't edit my videos. Alright, so these 100-page giants, they're $4.99. They have new stories too, and old stories. Now, something like this really irritates me because it collects oh, I didn't know I had Batman Detective Comics 23.2, Nightwing #1. Oh yeah, this is the first one, that's right too. This is the first one, that's right too. That's what I said. But it also has The Court of Owls. Now, that's a book that you can get for free. Free. The full story on Amazon, the Kindle. Not the book itself. You have to get on the Kindle. And you have to have Amazon Prime, obviously, and or Kindle Unlimited. Kindle Unlimited I really want to get, but that's going to be like, I would never have to go to a comic book store for a long time, because they have a lot in their stock. So I just feel like, you know what, if I'm reading a comic book, I need to read on the Kindle, kind of like I'm doing now, but in a more extreme way, because those could go away. The ones I have can't. I mean, people have said that there's a way that it can, and I hope that's not true, because you don't technically own it. It's in their terms and services. It's probably why I feel the need to finish the Kindle book that I have. I have like 14 of them now. Anyways, 2 of them are single comics like this. So I read a single issue at a time, so I've already finished 2 of them. Anyways, so this is really annoying, because one of the 5 stories, yeah, it's 5 stories, right? 5? Yep, 5 action-packed stories. And some of them have 4, and I think it's because some stories are shorter than others. So the 4 and 1, they're 25 pages, right? Because 25 times 5 times 4 is 100, I think. So, and then the other one you probably get much less. I'm just gonna make sure. Yep. And then sometimes it's not 100, because this one, it has no ad at the last one. See here, no ad. But then you go here, and you would think, oh, they're gonna do something different than Court of Owls. No, they don't. And you get Elegy, a book I bought I got for free, because it was buy 2 get 1 free. And I did know Elegy was in here before I bought it. But for most people, like Court of Owls, they're not gonna wait until Batman, actually 7, because it didn't, no, maybe 6, sorry. They're not gonna wait until Batman Giant 6 comes out. They're gonna get it for free on the Kindle, or, God forbid, spend $17, because it actually is more expensive, because 6 times 5 is 30, yeah. 6 times 5 is 30, and you do get more stories. It's not just like you get that one story and that's it. But what they should do is, first of all, they shouldn't do Batman Detective Comics 23.2, because I think like the true believers, like I hope, is trying to reel in new readers that they already don't have, because comics is dying. My voice cracked. Comics medium is dying, especially with this COVID thing. The voice keeps cracking. And they're not being smart about it for many, many reasons. But this is one of the 1,000 reasons. There's like a billion. You could probably write a book about the size of this book here. And I'm not kidding you. You could write a book the size of it, which is just 1,300 pages, I think. And you could read that, and you could read that. You could. Is that? Oh, good. I hate they don't put it at the top. Alright, so 1,300. Let's say 1,300 pages. 1,200 negatives. Whatever. You could literally write that much of a book, that long a book, 1,200 pages on the many, many reasons and solutions to those reasons, problems, and solutions to those problems, and why the comic book industry is dying, because no one's doing anything about it. I've already been going on for 6 minutes. Wow. I did not think I was going on for that long. Hey, 4 more minutes, and if I monetize this and censored me saying COVID all the time, for every time, I could get money. Totally. Yeah, that's how YouTube works. I learned I actually learned everything you need to know about YouTube from that Ralph Breaks the Internet. Apparently, if people like your video and you get a lot of views, you make money. Yeah, it doesn't have to do anything with ads or anything like that. That movie was terrible. I hated that. It got everything wrong. Anyway, so what they should do, like they're gonna do this, like this is gonna totally save DC Comics. What they really need to do is they really need to like do a story that not a lot of people know, or hell, do issues that are out of print and not in a collection like Batwoman Elegy or the Court of Owls or anything like that. That way those people can get that story, because sometimes even though you get Detective Comics 800, sometimes you can read that story and only know a little bit of the Batman lore, like me. Well, a little bit, I know a lot more. But know as much as I did when I started out, and you won't be too terribly confused. Maybe a little bit confused, but you're not going to be like, I can't read this because there's 20 different references to other issues that I need to read to get what's going on. Or just like do one that you can't get anywhere. You can get the Court of Owls at your library too, and hard copy if you don't like getting digital stuff like I do. But I'd rather just get it digitally. That way I don't have to go all the way to the library because I don't have a car, because my vision's terrible. That's why I look like this. The way I look at the camera. That's not intentional. That's how my eyes are. I'm not doing that to try and be funny, because it's not kind of funny. I don't know why. And then you get the Birds of Prey one. I don't know why I had to show you guys all these. And I like getting them because you do get it's good for the price that it is. Because then you get one like, because this one collects, let's see. I just looked at this. Birds of Prey, Batgirl and the Birds of Prey 14. And Black Canary 9, New Titans Showcase number 1. I think Showcase number 1, it might not be the Teen Titans number 1, like the start of that series, of that run. Why Batgirl and the Birds of Prey number 14? Is it the first appearance of Harley Quinn, and you want to capitalize off her first appearance, even though I don't think she's in the main of the Birds of Prey series? I think she's in like 1 or 2. And it says Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, so why not collect that, you idiots? Just random issues. And, I mean, again, I'm going to keep buying these, because these are good to keep buying, because you do get new stories. And I think they go in chronological order. So if you have Batwoman Giant number 1, and then you get number 2, you have the new story, and it says continued in Batwoman Giant number 2 coming out next month, and you get number 2. It goes on and on, like how you keep getting Court of Owls and now Batwoman Elegy in Batman Giants. Even though they have a Batwoman and a Batman, so why not in Batwoman? And then have another Batman story. And Flash has, I think this one did it pretty good too. This one actually smartened up, I mean. Yeah, you get Blue Beetle number 1, Green Arrow Rebirth 1. No, Flash 13. And again, like I said, I didn't say this before, but also like how I said before that you can, and it's not actually Detective Comics 800. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't think that's part one of the story that you can get into it. Yeah, like I said before. But maybe Flash 13 is issue 1, is part 1 of a new story, and they don't ever reference Flash 1 through 12. They probably do. That's why I don't get Flash 77. I have to get, if I wanted to, I have to get the issues 1 through 76. And these ones are even better because this one is just going to be Flash 14. Yep, Flash 14, Green Arrow 1, and Blue Beetle 2. Because Green Arrow Rebirth #1, all those Rebirth #1s, those are like really kind of like sort of one-shot things that introduced you into the lore, from what I can understand. It was a kind of an the actual introduction, like an issue 0. And this is the same. Oh, I have 3 of these. Huh. This one, I think, was also the same. I think I also just did not learn its lesson. Oh, let me get Batwoman Rebirth #1 and Supergirl. No, this one actually did it pretty good because you get Batwoman Rebirth and Supergirl Rebirth #1 and Batwoman issue 0. So that's when it started. See, and it makes no sense because these all came out around the same time. And this one I had to really look for. Again, I think I've mentioned this in the video before, but Newbury Comics has their comics from this week and comics from last week on one side, and then back issues on the other. So I had to go to the back issues on the other side to look for that. I'm not going to do that anymore, just because there's so many books I want to get on anymore. And I also like to save money so I can get, older books. Now this thing makes sense. This is Ghost. This is their Halloween special, I think. So it's 9. This is 9 action-packed adventures too. So this makes sense. They're not going to just include issue 1s when they have nothing to do with the Halloween theme. So this is they do for the most part they got off good. Cursed Comics Cavalcade #1. DC House of Horror #1, DCU Halloween Special 2010, and Justice League 35. So that's the one oopsies. But I think that those to the DCU Holiday Special, whatever, I think it's material from, so you don't get the full book, because I think that might have even been 100 pages in of itself. This one makes no sense. I'm sure there is a #2, but and I think I showed you guys this before, but and I looked after, and there's no. At least at Newbury Comics, the one I go to, there's no #2, and usually I'll find it after a while. And it's not like, because the only exceptions to those is if they have an issue 3, and you're looking for issue 1. They usually have the previous 2 issues of a story, unless it's a really really popular story, and I don't think it's that popular. I mean, Swamp Thing is a popular series, but I think people would more go for these current Swamp Thing series. They don't have any, so maybe it is the most popular, but I feel like I've heard about that because I'm subscribed to a couple of comic book YouTubers. I feel like they would have said something about that. So this one's the Swamp Thing #1 and the Hellblazer 1. And I hope that's, oh, and Satana something. Just Satana. Oh, Satana 1. It was squeezed into the side, so I couldn't really see it that well. And then this one, I think, just collects issue 3, which is awesome. Let's see. Let's see. Whoa. Yep, Swamp Thing 3, the Hellblazer 3. Great. So they did have a second one. And this one also makes no sense, because this is where you really get in trouble with these, for lack of a better word. This is stupid, because for Crisis on Infinite Earths, you need to read the whole entire series in chronological order. There's no reason why they should do this. Yeah, it's issues 1 and then issue 7. Why don't you just do issue 2 and issue 5 at that point? at this point. At least they give you issue 1, but they should do issue 2 and issue 1 and issue 3, maybe, and then issue 2 and issue 4 on the next one. Because I don't think they want to give you all the story, but even though they're going to do that for a big story like that, where it's $30 to get the entire thing, which I had to do because I'm not waiting 12 months. Again, no one wants to wait that long, so that's also another thing. And I think what they should do, but that's not, you can't say, oh, we're not going to do DC Giants because no one's going to want to wait that long. Some people are. And for me, it's just, the problem is that unless it's a holiday special thing, you shouldn't collect random issues. You should start from the beginning of the rebirths. They seem to really like doing the rebirths. So do Batman Rebirth, maybe. But that's also on Amazon Prime for free. But I don't think Flash or the Batwoman one wasn't. For whatever reason, they don't do Batwoman. I don't know. It should be all the Rebirth books. They have Teen Titans, Aquaman, Batman, Superman, not Wonder Woman. Aquaman, I already said that. So why not just at least do Batwoman and Wonder Woman? You know, you're already, you can appease, that's right, you can please the, SJWs that are like, oh, you did Batman, but not Wonder Woman, And for me, it's just like, you did Batman and not Wonder Woman because I wanted to read Wonder Woman, and I'm not going to buy Wonder Woman because that's not a character I have a lot of comics of, and I'm not really into Wonder Woman. So maybe I would have gotten into Wonder Woman if you had it for free, rather than Batman and Superman and all these other guys. Like, no, what I should have done is just had, when once that went away, or did it a month later. Prime reading is very flawed if you're like me and you really like comics, because right now there's nothing there I want. I've been getting like stories I wouldn't normally get at all. But the Archie one, that Archie Afterlife with Archie is pretty damn good. I'm already going for 20 minutes. This is gonna be a bitch to upload. I'm gonna have to stand from my iPad for forever. Alright, so I'm gonna wrap it up. I should definitely put the okay, I think someone's outside my window. That's why I was at my door. That's why I keep getting like scared. Because they'll make fun of me for making a YouTube video. Because God forbid I make a YouTube video and make money. And it's like poking fun, like not to be mean, but well, maybe to be mean. Anyways, but what they should do is they should like do Batman Rebirth #1, or yeah, do #1, or no, sorry, because that's the same problem as New 52. They should do one that starts off the series, starts off a long thing, like there's No Man's Land or Nightfall or a classic story. You don't have to do the new one just because all the other ones are from a news book too. You can do Batwoman Detective Comics 400, which again would be a bad idea because it's a random issue. But I don't know, do one where you don't have to read 1,000 comics before, but also don't do one that people can just get for free and feel like they're getting scammed because they already have that issue with it, or they've already read it, like me. Double whammy. I have the book, already read it. And it's good that they do this with that, because their 80-page giants, which have all new stories, is $10. And I really want that Robin one, which I can't get because I can't go to a comic book store. But, and then don't collect random issues. Like, that's a biggie. If I would make a list, #1 would be don't collect random issues. If you're trying to reel in new readers and you have no other choice, which is bullshit, because you do have a choice. Do the post-crisis on Infinite Earths ones, actually, because that's a new timeline. Even though it's like Batman 417, it's post-crisis, so it's a new storyline type thing. Or for Superman, do the really damn good John Byrne Superman run, which toned down the character, grounded the character down to his roots, and wasn't like he's all powerful and there's this alien from Kazar land and they have to get their red ring from the Uzar universe. I'm sure it's an actual Superman comic book. I'm sure it is. they're just like they crown the character like he to the Daily Planet. It's like the movies basically. Like the Superman that you know is the Superman. It's not too confusing, and I think it does get confusing and like outlandish as it goes along, but it gets you prepared for that. I think I'm doing a terrible job of explaining it, but they ground the character. They make the character relatable somewhat, like Spider-Man, like the Superman. I like Superman. I like Spider-Man and all the Marvel heroes and some of the DC heroes too. And it's just the definitive Batman, the definitive Superman, and everything. That's what they should collect. Is maybe that too. Do a classic book. If you're gonna do Crisis on Infinite Earths one, why not do Post Crisis? So you read Crisis in order, then you read the Batman one. So you're like, oh, I understand. It's this storyline after Crisis. That's cool. And you have a full story. And then you can talk with your like comic nerds like me. I haven't finished Crisis though, but when I finish Crisis, obviously, or other comic book nerds, and talk about the book that you got for more expensive because it has 12 of them, but you got extra stuff in it too, so extra stories. But I mean, who's gonna listen to a comic book to a 23 subscribers channel like me? It's not what I did, obviously. I just did it to bring us, I guess. I don't know, to show you guys, but show you guys. Give you guys my opinion. Jesus, give you guys my opinion on a book, but I still recommend these because this is 1,500 pages. This is 1,500 pages of DC books. This is an omnibus of DC. They probably would do this. I bet they would, because they do that with omnibuses sometimes. They'll have like a John Byrne one, but they'll collect random issues that they don't have in other omnibuses. And sometimes they'll do like they have a She-Hulk one that apparently is really good. It's probably will I'll get that. But yeah, 22 minutes. I talked to you guys for an entire Simpsons episode, or entire 30-minute episode of like whatever show, like any sitcom. Sometimes it's 21 minutes, but you get the idea. All right, bye.